Good afternoon, Facebook family and friends. This is Mary Amy, President, CEO of LeGacci, and I just want to talk about LeGacci today. Um, so I want to touch bases because I was asked to explain why is Write Your Own Story so important. Why is it the slogan, the mantra for LeGacci? And if you really think about Write Your Own Story, that it gives you your own identity. Like, it personalizes things for yourself. It put you in perspective of your own situation. You can piggyback off someone's success or jump on someone else's bandwagon, but when you write your own story that is designed for yourself, that's like your signature, your social security number. So write your own story means to me, it means so much. It's like it doesn't matter where you come from, who come before you, or who comes after you. So, write your own story to me. I come from the ghetto, the hood, wherever you want to call it. Was a Christ child. My parents went to food pantries. I know what it feel like to get your water shut off, your light shut off, things like that. As I began to grow up and become a teenager, I had some friends. I wanted to be with the in crowd. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to hang out. So I started drinking and smoking, even though I didn't like those things, but I wanted to be down. And a lot of us fall victim to things like that. But anyway, so I became a product of my environment. I started selling drugs, got in trouble, was alright for a little while. A couple years passed, same thing. Started selling drugs again, got in trouble. For those of you who know me personally, and if you don't, I just did the past 6 years of my life in prison. I've been out since March 18th. And when I was in prison, I gathered so much information, and I didn't know what to do with it at first. It was like a puzzle. But close to the last year I spent in prison, everything started to come together, piece by piece. And I was sitting on my bunk one day, and I was just like, I can't love myself. I can't love me. If I did, how am I living in a cement box, laying on a metal plank with 16 women as my roommates, and the conditions of my environment, sanitary napkins thrown everywhere, just different kind of filthiness? I said, I have a price tag, and I know it reads valuable. I know it says priceless, but if I feel like that about myself, then I'm not showing it. So I had to start thinking, if I think I am so valuable and so priceless, how did this become my situation? See, we don't love ourselves. When we put ourselves at risk, that means that we don't love ourselves, because we would do better for ourselves. We'll make better choices for ourselves. So as I got to thinking, when I was sitting on that bunk, I was like, it's all about choices. The choices I made. I made a choice to sell those drugs that wind me up in a penitentiary. That was my choice. But I'm going to tell you about choices. Choices, you can stand to lose or you can stand to gain. From them choices I made, I experienced the most significant loss I've ever experienced in my life. When I was incarcerated, I lost my mother. I lost my mother while I was incarcerated. Did not get to make it to her funeral. In that moment, when that happened to me, I made a choice. I decided. And for those of you that don't know what decide means, it means to cut off, to change. No longer. It's over with. When you decide, you make changes. I decided that day that I was going to make better choices in my life. I wanted to gain. I wanted to prosper. When you make choices and they're poor, you stand to hurt more than yourself. You hurt people that love you, that care about you. I experienced something so tragic. I was ripped away from everything. Everyone that loved me, everything that I was familiar with. And I had to make my way. But in that time, making my way in prison, I came to understand something. You can still, listen to me when I tell you this, you can still thrive in the dark. You can still thrive in the dark. At your lowest point, you become your strongest. At your lowest point, you understand things about yourself that you never would have. Sometimes you have to go through to come to. It's all about building. My friend told me, what's not growing is dead. So every day of your life, you want to progress. You want to move forward. You want to stay in a forward motion. Every day should be a continual progress. Tomorrow should be better than yesterday. It's about choices. And the choices you make you can either gain from them or you can lose. And today, now, I choose life. I choose to prosper.